This video brings an urgent warning that Jesus specifically wants you to hear. You are walking straight into a spiritual trap, and he's deeply concerned you might not see it coming. This isn't just another spiritual video. It contains a revelation that could save you from spiritual destruction. Jesus has been watching the enemy set this trap specifically for you, and he would be heartbroken if you fell into it without recognizing the danger. The warning you're about to receive has been carefully arranged to reach you at this exact moment, before you take the wrong step. There's a divine appointment happening right now as you watch. Don't scroll away, because what you're about to learn could prevent you from walking into the enemy's carefully planned spiritual trap. This isn't ordinary spiritual advice. It's a divine alert about a spiritual trap that's been set specifically for you right now. Jesus has been watching spiritual warfare unfold around your life with loving attention, seeing both your victories and the attacks coming your way. Missing this particular warning could mean falling into an enemy trap that's already been prepared for your next move. This warning marks a critical spiritual moment that's happening in your life right now. Jesus cares so deeply about your spiritual safety that he would be genuinely worried if you failed to recognize this danger. That's why this message found you today. Your attention to this video isn't by chance. It's a divinely orchestrated moment designed to help you see the trap that has been set directly in your path, but you've been walking straight toward it without realizing the danger. Every prayer you've whispered when spiritual attack seemed overwhelming has been heard. Every moment of confusion, when things went wrong for no clear reason, has been noticed. All the times you've wondered why obstacles kept appearing in your path, yet continued to trust God anyway, have been honored. Your recent spiritual struggles haven't gone unnoticed. Those moments when it felt like everything was working against you, Jesus saw your frustration. The times when your faith felt tested by repeated setbacks, yet you kept believing anyway. That persistence was recognized in heaven. The strength it took to keep moving forward when spiritual opposition seemed constant has been deeply valued. The questions you've carried about why certain difficulties kept repeating have all been acknowledged. Spiritual warfare isn't always obvious, and enemy traps aren't always clear to recognize. The spiritual trap Jesus wants you to recognize appears in opportunities that seem too good to be true but feel divinely timed. This trap shows up as people offering help with solutions that bypass God's guidance, or as shortcuts that avoid the spiritual growth process. It appears in decisions that promise quick fixes to problems you've been praying about for months. It emerges in relationships that seem perfect, but slowly pull you away from your spiritual disciplines. This trap is uniquely designed for your specific weaknesses and current spiritual season. It connects directly to the prayers you've been praying and the breakthroughs you've been seeking. The enemy chose this particular trap because it speaks to your deepest desires in a way that seems spiritually acceptable. The window to recognize and avoid this trap won't remain open forever. When you finally see it, you'll realize how close you came to making a decision that would have derailed your spiritual journey. When you recognize this spiritual trap that's been set for you, many confusing experiences from recent weeks will suddenly make perfect sense. Unexpected obstacles, relationship conflicts, and spiritual dryness will all connect in a moment of divine clarity about the enemy's strategy. Jesus has wonderful news for you today. Your spiritual discernment is growing stronger and important. Protective wisdom is being revealed to you now. The divine has recognized something special about your spiritual journey, and now you've been chosen to receive this critical warning. This moment marks something significant in your walk with Christ. It's a clear indication that your spiritual sensitivity is developing beyond what you've experienced before. Something incredibly meaningful is unfolding in your relationship with Jesus, a deeper understanding of spiritual warfare than you might have thought possible. The recognition of this trap begins a spiritual awakening that will protect every area of your life, there's a wave of heavenly protection surrounding you right now. You're becoming more spiritually alert to enemy tactics, naturally drawing divine warnings into your daily experience. Recognizing this trap brings heightened awareness of Jesus' protection in even the smallest decisions you make. More spiritual. Insights about warfare strategies will begin flowing to you than ever before. This isn't happening by chance. It's a carefully arranged blessing designed specifically for this dangerous season you're entering. Your prayers for wisdom and protection matter more than you realize. Your spiritual growth inspires heaven to reveal enemy plans before they succeed. Your faith makes a difference in the spiritual atmosphere around you. This divine warning shows that Jesus deeply values your spiritual development and wants to protect your progress. Each step you've taken in faith, even when the path seemed unclear, has led you exactly where you need to be to receive this critical warning about the trap ahead. The timing of this warning is no coincidence. It comes now because you're spiritually mature enough to recognize and respond to spiritual warfare. This precise moment has been divinely chosen because you've grown in faith and discernment about enemy tactics. Your spiritual eyes are now open enough to see traps that might have been invisible to you before. Your heart has been strengthened through trials. Your spiritual wisdom has deepened through experience fighting spiritual battles. Your soul is now prepared to receive divine warnings more clearly than ever before. All the spiritual challenges you've faced have been preparation for recognizing this specific trap. Nothing in your spiritual journey has been wasted. Every attack you've overcome has shaped your ability to recognize enemy strategies when they appear. This particular trap is connected to larger spiritual warfare happening against believers right now. Jesus is revealing similar warnings to those who are spiritually alert. If you're feeling grateful for this divine warning about the spiritual trap ahead, please consider sending a super thanks of $5, $10, $20 or more to support our channel's mission of sharing these important spiritual warfare insights. Your generosity helps these divine warnings reach those who desperately need protection from enemy attacks. When you give, you participate in a sacred exchange that allows us to continue creating content that connects people with heaven's protective messages in these spiritually dangerous times. As you begin to recognize this spiritual trap that was set for you, new spiritual awareness will naturally develop in your life. This clearer vision brings new responsibilities, not just to protect yourself, but to help everyone God places in your path who might be walking towards similar traps. Don't view these responsibilities as burdens, but as sacred opportunities to participate in Jesus' work of spiritual protection. This revelation signals it's time to step into spiritual maturity as a warrior against enemy deception. Finding balance becomes essential during this spiritually charged time. While avoiding the specific trap that's been revealed to you, remember to nurture your spiritual defenses through prayer, scripture, and community. These spiritual disciplines have protected you so far and will continue to strengthen you as you grow into this expanded role. Jesus is inviting you to become more than just someone who avoids traps, but a person who helps others recognize them. 2. As you become sensitive to this spiritual trap that was set for you, think about how you can help others who are walking towards similar dangers. Your experience shows that the enemy is constantly setting traps, even when we fail to notice the spiritual warfare around us. Heaven witnesses every moment when someone recognizes enemy deception before falling into it. Your story of receiving. This warning brings hope to people feeling spiritually attacked or wondering if Jesus still protects believers from spiritual warfare today. Your awareness becomes a light that helps others develop eyes to see the traps being set all around them. This warning about your specific trap isn't meant to be a private blessing. It's an invitation to help others experience the same divine protection. Jesus often works through those who have recently recognized enemy tactics to help awaken others who are still walking towards spiritual traps without seeing the danger ahead. As you navigate this new level of spiritual awareness about enemy traps, stay consistently alert. Jesus reminds you that while recognizing one trap is wonderful, it's just the beginning of a lifetime of spiritual warfare where the enemy will keep setting new traps. Maintain the spiritual sensitivity that allowed you to see this trap in the first place. Guard against returning to spiritual complacency that made you vulnerable to enemy deception in the past. Let your spiritual awareness continue to flow from genuine faith and daily attention to Jesus' guidance. With this new ability to recognize spiritual traps comes ongoing responsibility to remain watchful and discerning. Use this gift wisely to discern true spiritual threats from ordinary life challenges. Not every difficulty is spiritual warfare, but Jesus will make truly dangerous traps unmistakable. Embrace this journey of spiritual protection with both humility and confidence, showing others that recognizing enemy tactics comes from staying connected to Him daily. Picture a future where you consistently recognize spiritual traps before walking into them. Imagine divine protection surrounding every decision you make, spiritual warnings arriving precisely when needed, and your understanding of enemy tactics expanding beyond anything you've experienced before. Jesus stands with you, encouraging you to embrace this journey of spiritual warfare with complete trust. This is truly your moment to experience deeper divine connection through recognizing His warnings about enemy deception. This marks the beginning of a time when your spiritual discernment, wisdom, and protection will be more aligned with heaven than ever before. Accept this blessing with gratitude and remember that you're surrounded by divine support on this journey of spiritual warfare. The path ahead holds countless opportunities to experience Jesus' guidance through warnings that will become increasingly clear to your spiritually alert eyes. What joy awaits as you learn to read the enemy's tactics and walk in divine protection every day. If this spiritual warfare message has awakened something in your spirit, please consider blessing our channel with a super thanks of $5, $10, $20, or whatever amount feels right to you. Your support creates a beautiful spiritual exchange and allows us to continue sharing these divine warnings with those who need them most. Your generosity helps fund our mission to help others recognize the traps the enemy is setting in these spiritually dangerous times. If you're ready to acknowledge that you've recognized the spiritual trap set for you, type 88 in the comments below as your declaration of spiritual awareness. The journey of recognizing spiritual traps continues beyond this revelation. As you step into new spiritual awareness about enemy tactics, stay grounded in Scripture and prayer that keeps your discernment sharp and accurate. Every trap you avoid could be the exact protection someone else has been praying for. Your growing spiritual sensitivity serves as inspiration for others, wondering if Jesus still warns believers about spiritual warfare today. Move forward with an alert heart, a watchful mind, and a responsive spirit, ready to recognize enemy deception before it succeeds. Create opportunities for others to recognize spiritual traps as you enjoy the protection coming your way. The spiritual language of warfare and protection has always been part of how Jesus guides those who love Him. By choosing to pay attention to these warning signs, you join a long tradition of faithful believers who have learned to recognize His protective voice and avoid the enemy's carefully set traps.